We'll begin with a reign of terror. A few murders here and there.
Welcome back to the Swearwolves. I'm Bret.
I'm David.
David.
Hey, Bret. What's up, buddy?
How are you, my friend?
I am wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing really well. Except for the fact that I have a cat that won't leave me the fuck alone.
That goddamn cat.
And you
Well,
have
if
a
it makes you feel
neighbor.
any better, yeah, I've got neighbors that are hammering at something. I don't know what.
Fuck,
They're
fuck both
real
of them.
intense. Lots of hammering.
This goddamn cat and your goddamn hammered
It's
neighbor.
like right behind me. It's like right on the other side of this wall.
Yeah. Always
So
fun.
good times. It sounds like almost like techno music. Like, they got good rhythm with the hammering.
Well, if you start dancing, we'll know why.
Yeah, it's the hammering. It's hammer time.
We actually you and I just saw each other in person.
We did.
We
You
just
look
got back.
great.
Thank you. Been working out. We were at Horror Hound in Cincinnati, Ohio, and I'm sure we had a wonderful time.
I'm sure we
But
did.
the audience won't know, and we won't know actually until it happens. But they won't know until next week
Yeah, you fuckers got to wait.
because, as per usual, the turnaround time is not good
Not
enough
ideal.
for us to include it. Yeah, for us to include
Especially
any type
with
of
the
update.
way flights have been going lately. Like, yeah.
Oh Christ! Yeah, I know.
I'm supposed to get home like I think before noon my time, but we'll see. We'll
Yeah.
see if that happens.
Good luck with that.
Thank you.
Anyway, that's enough about Horror Hound. Hey, I recently was before we get into the movie that we're going to discuss today. Recently, I was like looking at some things on our website.
Oh yeah, find some
And-
like spelling errors.
Yeah, I go
Grammatical errors
on
you'd like to
there every
fix.
once in a while. Yeah, I go on there every once in a while, and I'm like, you know what? I got to double check David's work. No, I was just looking at the website because I was looking at movies that we reviewed. I think I was looking up something to see what I gave it, so I could, whatever, talk about that. Mm-hmm. And I was also, my son had asked me. He goes, "What's the biggest discrepancy between what's David's rated and what you have rated?" Like a movie that maybe he really liked and you hated,
Okay.
or vice versa. And I was
gotta
like,
guess.
well, yeah, there is a couple probably, but there wasn't a lot.
I didn't say we're
However-
usually pretty close.
Yeah, we're pretty in sync, but there was some that I saw myself that I rated, and some that I saw that you rated that I was like, really? That's what he gave that? That's what
I
I
do that
gave
sometimes
that?
too. I'm like, oh, I should revise that at some point.
Yeah. And I don't know if it's because we were new to the rating system at one point in time, or we were just in a really good or really shitty
Yeah, I was
mood.
gonna say sometimes it's just like, yeah, I was really generous that day, or you look at a rating and you're like, whoa, bug was up my butt that day.
Yeah. So I took all of that information, put it through the old computer up
Ran it.
here
Yeah.
with a puppet. Talk to a puppet about it.
Oh.
He
Put some
told me
balls
that
in your mouth.
yep, there was a
Gargle 'em around a
13%
little bit.
chance I should do this.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I like those odds. But I came up with a new segment, David,
Oh shit.
and I have a little theme song for it.
Oh, lay
Goes
it
a
on
little
me.
something like this.
Bullshit artist. Bullshit artist. Bullshit artist.
That's
And
the
of course-
exact rhythm that my neighbors were hammering. Amazing.
This segment is called Bullshit Artist. And what it is we call out the other person
On their
for
bullshit.
their bullshit rating.
Okay.
That clip, of course, is from the movie The Greasy Strangler.
A wonderful piece of cinema that I did not like. That you liked.
So I'm going to go first,
Okay.
and I'm going to challenge you on this.
All
Now,
right, you want to fight me?
now, as the challenger, I have to tell you what I don't agree with about this rating.
Okay.
And it's my job to give you some sufficient evidence
You got to give me some guidance.
to go, hey, wait a second, maybe we should
Lay out some evidence.
change this a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, I'm not a
Persuade
lawyer.
me?
I'm not a professional lawyer. I just part-time, kind of on the
Just on the
side,
side. Pro bono.
do a little pro bono
You do
work.
that shit pro boner.
All right. So the one I'm going to challenge you on today is one that you rated high
Ooh, okay.
and I rated low.
I think I know where this is going, but let's see.
I don't think so. Well, maybe. I don't
Okay.
know. I rated lower.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what I gave it, but I'm going to challenge you on your rating of The Conjuring.
Oh, okay.
You gave The Conjuring 4.5 Pamela Voorhees Heads. That's damn near a perfect fucking movie, in your opinion. And I'm going to read you 2 other movies that you gave 4.5s to.
Okay.
You gave Dawn of the Dead, the original, George Romero, Dawn of the Dead, 4.5. And you gave Evil Dead 2, 4.5. So by that rationale, you're saying that The Conjuring is just as good as Dawn of
What'd
the
you give The Conjuring?
Well, this isn't about me, David. You can't.
This also might have been my thumb on the scale.
You can't. You can't
Dude,
turn this on me.
Can I just change the rating of a different movie that you just mentioned instead?
Hold on. What? What do you mean?
I'm just kidding.
Oh.
Dawn of the Dead, dude. That's probably a 5.
Well, okay. Yeah, you can do that. I don't care about that. 4.5, 5 is fine with
stick
that.
to
But
the
let's
conversation
stick
at
to the
hand.
script, David. Let's see here. The Conjuring. What did I give it? I gave it a 3.
Oh, see, and I would probably challenge you the other way, you fucker. Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, good. I was just gonna say, I think The Conjuring, and I probably said this in the episode. I don't remember that one was a while ago, but to me, it's one of the best horror films of the last 15 years or so. Like
You're
when
a
I saw it in the
knucklehead.
theater, huh?
I said you're a knucklehead.
I think it's great. When I saw it in the theater, I didn't really know what to expect, and when I walked out, I had it kind of gave me the chills. Like that movie creeped me out a little bit. And I remember that night, like laying in bed, just being like, "Wow, that movie was fucking creepy."
So still to
And
this,
there's like,
still to
and
this
it's not
day.
violent. It's not. I don't think there's any like nudity or like bad language. That movie's just R because it's rated R because it's fucking scary. I could be persuaded to come down a little bit, but I probably wouldn't come down. I could be talked into a 4.
That's not nearly enough for me. I don't like that.
I'll come down to a 4
Okay.
because I agree it's not on the level of some of the other 4.5. So your persuasion skills are effective there.
Yeah, because I was just looking at some of the movies that you've given 4.5, that we've given 4.5s to, and I was like, "There's no way that."
And I'm
this
going to
comes
bump
close.
up down to the Dead to 5 while we're at it. Fuck it.
See, I did 2 for
Look at
1.
that. You got a twofer.
Yep.
That's funny. Well, when I was thinking about movies for this segment, I actually considered The Conjuring on the opposite end for you, but it ultimately didn't make my list because I was like,
make the cut.
whatever.
Okay.
Okay, I got one for you.
Okay.
And I had some, like I wrote some that I thought you were too high, and but I'm gonna go with one that I think you rated too low. But I didn't look to see. I didn't do the extensive research that you did to see what other films you gave the same score to.
Okay.
But you are a huge Friday the 13th fan.
Yes.
And you gave Part 6, my personal favorite of the series, a 2.
I did.
Bullshit artist. That movie is one of the best in the franchise.
Bullshit artist.
So I would challenge you to think again.
Okay.
I think you scored it down just because of the paintball scene, which is a very small part of the movie.
It is, but it annoys the shit out of me. Okay, I'm going to tell you, I'm looking at my Friday the 13th ratings right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you my thinking behind this, and I can't be persuaded to go up maybe a half ahead. But here's my thinking on this. My favorite Friday the 13th movie is Friday the 13th Part 3. Mm-hmm. My favorite Friday the 13th movie. I watch it all the time. I watch it a few times a year. Okay,
Like, I'm watching it right now.
Yes, fuck you. It's on right now.
Completely tuning you
Shelley, fuck you. He's got a hatchet in his head, making him fucking pulling pranks. Listen, I watch that movie a lot, and that movie I gave 3.5 heads to. Okay,
Yeah.
so if that's my favorite, if that's the one that I think is the best Friday the 13th movie,
Part 3 is also, I agree, it's really good. That movie's hokey as shit, though.
it is hokey. And you also gave it 3.5, by the way.
Yeah, I like it.
And you gave Part 6 3.5. Mm-hmm. And you gave Part
Yeah, to
4.
me, 3, 4, and 6 are all pretty damn close. But
Yes.
6 is just my personal favorite.
Yes. So for me, 3.5. I realize it. I'm realistic. I'm not some guy who's like, oh, I like Uncle Sam. I'm gonna give it 5 heads because I'm a fucking
Yeah, because I like
that
it because
guy.
it's fun. It makes me laugh. But our own scale, when we talk about, like, our thing has always been 2.5 and up is I recommend this movie. You should see it. So you are therefore
Okay.
telling our listeners, I don't think you should see this movie.
So that's why I said I could come up half a head. So I will come up. So with that being the baseline of the best
Yeah.
one. And then Friday the 13th part 4, I gave 3 heads to. I'll tell you what. I'll come up to 3 Pamela Voorhees heads for part 6.
Boom.
I'll tie it with part 4.
Awesome.
Okay? You've
I
convinced
love
me.
it.
That must have
Well,
been
thank
one.
you.
That must have been one that it was a bad day for me, and I was just really
Maybe.
pissed off when I watched it. And I was like, you know what happened? We saw that in the theater.
Yeah.
You and I went and saw it in the theater, and then I watched it again for like the podcast, I think. And then I was just like, I'm so fucking annoyed by this fucking paintball scene and this music and this fucking nerd.
Oh, yeah. It's got the little military music.
Yeah. I was just annoyed, and I was like, this is fucking cheeseball. And I was just like, I don't hate this movie, but I don't like it. But I do like it.
Yeah.
I do like the movie.
6 is fun.
It's a lot of fun.
So good. I'm glad. I'm glad you came up.
All right. So that's the new segment of Bullshit Artists. We will, from time to time, challenge
Yeah,
each
not gonna
other
be a
on
weekly
that.
thing.
And we could even do it live. Like if I give a movie a 5 and you're like, fuck that. That's bullshit.
Calling
You-
shenanigans right away.
Yeah, you can call shenanigans right away. I don't know. It might come up again later today when we talk about our ratings for Slaughterhouse.
I'm going to, book a flight to Pennsylvania and kick your ass as soon as this episode's over. It's you and me behind the school.
Well, I'll tell you what. If I score Slaughterhouse a 5 Pamela Voorhees heads, you have every right to come out to Pennsylvania and kick my ass.
Yeah, not to get ahead of myself. I shan't be giving this movie a 5.
Slaughterhouse. Now, we picked this movie, well, primarily because we were just looking through streaming services. It's on Shudder right now.
Yeah, that's where I watched it.
Had you ever seen this movie before?
No, but I was curious about it because, earlier we were talking about our website. We have a very little known portion of our website called articles that we started a long ass time ago and basically have done nothing with it. I think there are 2 articles on here.
Yeah.
You wrote something about Psycho, and Alan, when he was on the podcast, wrote something about Slaughterhouse.
Oh.
So it's a movie that I've always been interested in seeing because I know Alan enjoyed it.
Well,
So I was like, let's give it a proper watch.
let's. Did he give it a rating? I wonder if
He did not. He just talked about it.
Well, we'll talk about it then too. Let's go through the stats here. Slaughterhouse came out September 11th, 1987. David, what was the number 1 movie back then?
I'm going to go Slaughterhouse. No, I'm going to go Dirty Dancing.
Dirty Dancing is a great guess. Wrong, but a great guess. Because that movie was ridiculously popular.
Yeah,
Dirty
and I think
Dancing.
around like summer.
Yeah, so-
but I could be wrong.
Yeah. Another movie that was popular, a movie that I've never seen, but I was always like, I should watch that movie someday. And then I was
And
like,
then you don't?
Yeah, because then I was like, why would I watch this? It's a movie called Stakeout with Richard Dreyfuss
Oh, yeah.
and Emilio
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Estevez.
Yeah, I can picture the box art.
Yeah. So good that they made a sequel.
Yeah, another stakeout.
Yeah, with Rosie O'Donnell. So you know it's got to be good. Mm-hmm. What was the number 1 song? I'll
I'm
give
gonna
you
go with.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I was going to give you a hint because you didn't get the first movie. I'll give you a hint on this one. It's a song.
Uh-huh.
It's a song from a movie at the time.
It's probably a song from Dirty Dancing. My guess was going to be because I was going with the house theme. We got Slaughterhouse, the movie. I was going to go with "Don't Dream It's Over" by Crowded House.
Oh.
But now I'll revise that. I'm gonna go.
Hey now, no dream
Uh-huh.
it's over. Hey now, hey now.
Yep. Okay, I'm gonna go then. "Time of My Life" or whatever by.
Oh, I've had the time of my life. No.
I like the part where it like builds up and it goes, "And I owe it all to you."
Yeah. I love it. I love it. I always think of Patrick Swayze, dancing on the writing on the wall. Just remember. That's the wrong answer, by the way.
Fuck.
It's a little, we've talked about it before. La Bamba by Los Lobos.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That song was huge.
Yes, it was.
That song was huge. Probably more popular in 1987 than it was in 1963 when it came out, or whatever
1957
year.
or whatever.
What is it, 57? I don't know what year it was, but
I don't know.
it was a long time ago. All right. Slaughterhouse was written and directed by Rick Roessler.
I don't know, double threat kind of guy though. I like it.
Produced by Ron Matona. Stars Joe B. Barton as Buddy Bacon. Don Barrett.
Buddy Bacon.
Don Barrett as his dad, Lester Bacon. William Hawk as Sheriff Borden. Shelley Lee, credited as Shelley Bendorf, as Liz Borden.
It's very clever.
Clever. Jeff Wright as Deputy Thomas. Bill Brinsfield as Tom Sanford. And Lee Robinson as Harold Murdoch. The runtime of this movie is 85 minutes. Budget is $110,000. Don't have any box office for this, but I do have... Hot box. I have the hot box for this VHS cover.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see it in your head?
I can. I just want to say real quick, the hot box little jingle, the little fart at the end is the
Chef's
perfect
kiss.
chef kiss. Well done.
The VHS box. The tagline at the top says, "Buddy has an axe to grind. A big axe."
It's more of a hog splitter.
Yeah, I guess you're right. The cover art has some big dude wearing like coveralls, and he's holding a giant meat, what I called a meat cleaver, but I guess you're right, like a hog splitter, meat cleaver, whatever. It's giant.
It's looking very menacing.
Yeah.
Very imposing.
It gives me very Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibes. Like he's standing in front of a doorway like Leatherface in the first TCM.
Yeah.
And
It's a cool box.
yeah, it's got cool art. Like it's like, kind of a painted art of him. Mm-hmm. And then there's the title in like red blood fontish type stuff that says Slaughterhouse. Yeah. Go to the back of the box. The back of the box reads as follows. He's young, he's big, and he's always hungry. His name is Buddy, and please don't call him Bud. This is the haunted story of Buddy Bacon, a brand new kind of American hero. A sweet guy until you mess with one of his hogs or cross his father. Then the other Buddy comes out, the one that will make you shiver in Slaughterhouse.
He'll make you shit your pants.
This Buddy has been given an urgent project. Revenge. Revenge against the so-called Slaughterhouse conspirators who caused his father's ruin. On their bone-crushing path, Buddy and his daddy meet a few high school kids whose luck just ran out. One thing you'll learn about Buddy, he never misses a deadline. He's one of those conscientious dudes that just grinds it out, day in, day out. He doesn't need pep talks either. All he needs is an axe, a big axe. Get the picture? What the fuck?
That's a lengthy description. It's a fucking novel.
Description of this fucking movie. And what the fuck is this? What kind of backstory are they giving us about this? He's a sweet guy.
He's a sweet guy. No, he's not.
He's
a
always
fucking asshole.
hungry.
He doesn't even speak. He just fucking makes pig noises.
He's always hungry. Don't call him Bud. Does anybody call him fucking Bud in the movie?
Yeah, no. It's like in Back to the Future 2, like the whole like nobody calls me chicken thing that also went into the part 3. Like that was never a thing. Like that just came out of nowhere.
It was a thing. They just didn't mention it on part 1, David.
Because they needed it as a plot device in the sequels.
Exactly. We're not here to talk about Back to the Future 2. We're talking about the back cover of the fucking VHS. Now, if I'm reading this when I'm 10 years old and I'm at the movie store and I'm like, I need something to rent, 10, 11 years old, I'm like, all right, he's got an axe to grind. There's teenagers.
He's conscientious. That's a big word.
Couldn't even pronounce that. I had to have my son come in and help me read that. But the one thing that gets me, though, is it says, like, this is the haunted story of Buddy Bacon, a brand new kind of American hero.
Hero?
Why are they calling this guy a hero? Like, he's a murderer.
Yeah, what?
And then, but it does titillate the reader because it's like, he's getting revenge on the so-called Slaughterhouse conspirators and these high school students. Their luck just ran out. That leads me to believe we're going to have murder.
Lots of killing.
Mayhem, and another M. Mud.
Fucking mud.
Mud butt.
Mud butt. Oh, that's the worst.
All right. Let's talk about this fucking plot of this movie.
Let's do it.
This movie is marketed, by the way. Okay, now it's I don't know if it was marketed this way back in the day, but it's marketed now as a dark comedy.
Okay.
Horror movie. And And I would say in order to be considered a comedy, something funny has to happen, right? Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay, so this movie is not a comedy as far as I'm concerned.
No, I can't really think of any laughs that happened. No.
All right.
Right off the bat, though, it does kind of rip off Texas Chainsaw. Well, the first of many little rip-offs, but like how it sets it up like it's a true story.
Yes.
Because like right off the bat, we get like a card that says based on an actual macabre massacre.
Yeah, and I always notice about the words macabre and massacre, they always look like they should be spelled differently.
Yeah.
There should be no R in macabre.
No, it should be spelled like corn on the cob. Like it should have a C-O-B-B.
Yeah, it should be like M little c big C O B.
Yeah, Mick Cobb. That'd be a cool character name in a movie.
Macabre?
Fucking Mr. Macabre.
Do you think someday McDonald's will serve corn on the cob and they'll call
Macabre? Give me the macabre.
They can do it around Halloween time.
Yeah.
Give me the
that's
macabre.
good. Yeah, they should do that.
The macabre. Oh, we should work for...
I had the macabre salad.
And massacre, it shouldn't be R-E. Come on, who are we kidding here? Why is it why is it R-E? Who spelled this word?
Yeah. Get Mr. Massacre out here. I want to know.
I don't like the language. Okay. It does. It opens up. We got a cop who's driving to like a parking area,
Like a lover's lane kind of thing.
yeah. Did they
He's
ever,
got a lady friend with him.
Did they ever have? Did you ever have something like that when you were in high school?
Oh yeah.
Did you? There was a place where kids would go park
There's a place I would go park.
by yourself.
Yeah, it was kind of like on a mountain or whatever, like a little hill.
You just
My
go
high
up
school
there by
girlfriend and I would go
yourself.
up there and make out. No, yeah, by myself. I'd hop in the back seat and start rubbing on myself, get all steamy.
There was a hill like overlooking the city.
Yeah, we'd go up there,
Look at you.
make out. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have anything like that. Of course, I didn't have anybody to make out with, so maybe that's why I didn't have anything like that. They're in this lover's lane, and this cop pulls in, and there's a couple of cars there, and the woman friend that he's with. Well, okay, let's also settle. Let's talk about this. It's a deputy, and he's married, not to the person they're parking with.
Oh, I didn't even pick up on that.
Yeah,
Deputy Dave.
Yeah, Deputy Dave. He's got a wife.
That
And
son of a bitch.
he's got a girlfriend on the side.
He's philandering.
And that's why when they see the teenagers and they ultimately talk to them.
That makes more sense. He's like, hey, you never saw me, or don't talk about this.
Yeah, and they're like, don't worry.
Yeah, you're picking up on all the subtleties. I did not figure that out.
I was watching
I'm
this
very
movie
dumb.
close, under a microscope.
This movie's 5 heads.
Well, the kids like pull a prank on Deputy Dave, and he's like, what's going on? What's going on? He's such a doof. He's
He
like,
thinks somebody's being heard or something like that, but he finds out they're just filming a movie. They're making like a little independent horror flick.
yeah, on their like camcorder. And it's like teenagers. I guess I would say that it's summertime though, because they don't go to school ever.
Yeah, there are no school scenes.
But then they have a dance.
Oh yeah. Well, the dance is like a radio station sponsors.
Oh, yeah, that's
it.
right.
So I think that was like more of like an event.
Yeah. So it's a dance, or it's like
the
summer.
pig out, I think is what they called it.
Exactly. K-Fat Radio, KFAT.
K-Fat. Playing all the hits.
Yeah, because we're fat, and this is a movie about Slaughterhouse, and we're funny because we're a comedy.
This movie's comedy. Get ready to laugh.
So they're filming this movie. It's summer night, whatever. And it's 3 couples. Listen, I'm not going to go through their names. One of them's the sheriff's daughter. The rest of them are fucking assholes.
Yeah.
But there's 3 couples, and the sheriff's daughter is the one who's making the movie.
That's Liz Borden.
Lizzie Borden.
Lizzie.
The cop leaves, and they're like, what should we do? I don't know. Let's go make out. Let's go fuck. Let's go fucking play grab. Oh, I got to tell you this story, dude.
You were playing grab ass?
No, but it has to do with someone playing grab ass. There's an amusement park near me called Knobles. Well, it's not near me, but it's within driving distance, obviously. And
This episode is full of words that shouldn't be pronounced the way they're spelled.
yeah, it looks like
Knobles. It looks like nobles.
It looks like Nobles, but it's pronounced Knobles. that's a whole nother story. Anyway,
It's like when somebody's last name is Knudsen. You're like, your last name is Knudsen.
I'm going to kick you in your nuts, son. We're in line for the, what is it? The log flume, right?
Fucking flume. That's a funny word. It should be spelled with 2 O's.
Oh, then it would be flom.
No, Floom.
Floor, flom.
Like
It'd be
gloom,
flom.
but with an F. 2 O's?
Yeah, because like floor, Floor.
Well, and that, yes, but sometimes like
Flood.
gloom,
Ud.
moon,
Flume. Yeah, I guess.
poop.
Poop. You make a good point. You make a solid argument.
Yeah, I was hooked on phonics.
We're waiting in line for this log flume ride, right? And there's this kid and his dad and his dad's wife who's pregnant
Okay.
in front of us. And the wife of the dad is way younger than the dad. And the kid is probably like 18, 19 years old. And they're like right in front of me, okay? They were playing grab ass slap nuts the entire time we were on there. I know.
The dad and the young wife?
No, the dad and the kid, they were grabbing each other's ass and balls.
Wait, what?
Yes. They were grabbing each other's ass and balls. They would like go and like do, try to smack each other's nuts. And
Okay.
then like the son would go around the back and like try to reach under and do it.
No.
And then they would like wrestle. They're in line for a fucking ride at a goddamn amusement park, and they're wrestling and playing grab ass slap nuts the entire time. And even when they're on the fucking ride, because they were in front of me. And then when we get off, they're still doing it.
That's fucking weird.
Really weird.
Dude, I was at Universal Studios once in line for the Jurassic Park water ride.
Uh-huh.
And there was a couple like right in front of my wife and I. And the woman kept sticking her hands down the dude's pants and like jiggling his balls like right in front of everyone. I was like, what the hell? We just referred to that guy as Mr. Balls the rest of the day.
God, her hand did she have any like hand sanitizer or anything? She just,
Oh, no, yeah, she probably got fucking smegma.
yeah, she's just like the
Fucking
smell
duck
of
butter
it.
on her hands. Gross.
Yeah, I just couldn't believe that this boy and his dad were like touching each other's dick.
Apparently, long lines cause people to
It wasn't even that long of a line, David.
grab balls.
This was
and
10 minutes max. And they kept
That's
doing
enough,
it.
though, to get them mancy. I've been standing here for 5 minutes. I gotta touch an ass or flick a nut.
I would never do that to my dad. I would never do that to anybody, but let alone my father.
I've done it to friends, but like,
Just once, though,
but
right?
my dad, no.
Just once. Like you just walk by and you just give him a little smack.
Yeah, not repeatedly.
No, you're not like, oh, God, let me touch you. It's like, I almost said,
Oh,
like, just fuck
your
him
balls are
already.
hanging pretty low today.
But anyway, why was I talking about this?
Oh, the couples are playing grab ass.
Oh, yeah.
I think 2 of the 3 couples leave, and there's one couple left, and
Yes.
they're kind of just frolicking like through the woods.
Yeah.
Playing hide and seek
Oh,
and
no.
being all.
they're about ready to fuck, right? So the
Yeah,
dude,
but she's kind of teasing him first, so you got to chase me.
why is this the thing in movies, in horror movies specifically? They're like, oh, guess what? This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna about ready to have sex, but now I'm gonna run and hide from you. You got to chase me down.
And
Like,
you're gonna be like, "Come here, you."
whose fetish is this? Where it's like, well, I like playing hide and go seek before I fuck. It's like that's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
Let's have a good frolic.
So anyway, they're frolicking around and they come across this pen of pigs,
Yep.
and we hear some hog noises or whatever, and then they're in this old school bus kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a school bus.
I don't know.
That's where they're gonna bang.
Yeah, they get killed.
Yeah, because the dude's a fucking asshole, Kevin or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He gets a shovel and he starts fucking with the pigs. He's like,
Yeah,
like, dude, don't fuck with the pigs.
yeah. Well, here
And then
comes.
we see a dude come out and he's got that hog splitter thing and just
Yep, blood goes all over the place, and then
gets
she's
him right in the face.
she's inside the van, and I guess she gets it. Well, she's inside the
He
van
kills her
because
too.
blood comes out on the window, and it's just like, okay, right there. I was kind of like, all right, I'm in.
Yeah.
Like I was okay, and when the blood splattered, I was like, oh, this would be the perfect to be like, fucking Slaughterhouse.
Yeah, have it like the blood run down and have it say Slaughterhouse.
And then have a really cool fucking metal soundtrack for the opening credits. But instead we get like fucking Dixieland, fucking Disney Streets of New Orleans music like, playing. I don't even know what it was.
Yeah, I can't remember, but yeah, it's very kind of Dixie.
Yeah, it was just corny like carnival music. And then it's like proceeds to show us how they kill pigs.
Yeah, that was gross.
I almost couldn't watch it because they show you like them like for all intents and
shaving
purposes
the pigs and
sticking it, bleeding it out, hanging it upside down, bleeding it out, shaving it, boiling it.
Yeah, they put it and putting it in the little meat grinder thing.
Yeah, my wife.
I became a vegan on the spot.
My wife turned her head. She goes, "I can't watch this.
I don't like this." Yeah, I wasn't a fan of the opening credits. I was like, I could do without this.
That was while she was eating her bacon sandwich, by the way.
She went delicious.
Just kidding, she wasn't, but I'm sure she did have bacon after that. Anyway, that's how the movie opens. And then we get like, there's this guy who owns a modern day slaughterhouse, and he's trying to buy, this is the premise of the movie. He's trying to buy the land from Lester Bacon, who owns...
Yeah, I think this is Tom. Is that his name?
I don't fucking know.
Tom or Harold. It's one of them. Because one of them's a lawyer, and then the other one's the guy that basically wants to buy.
Harold's the lawyer, and
Tom's the guy trying to buy the farm and the slaughterhouse.
Yeah, so he just wants it for the land because he needs more land to pen more hogs because he's got some lucrative meat contract that just came up his way, and he's all
contracts.
I can taste the money. So he's been trying to buy this land from this Lester Bacon. So him, and then Harold Murdoch is the lawyer, and he's been working with Lester Bacon for like 30 years, and he's like, let's go over and give him one final offer. So Tom's like, all right, but this is it. Fuck this guy. And they go over there with the deputy. Or with the sheriff,
find out that the Bacons are, I think, defaulting on their mortgage or something. Like they're about to lose their property. Yeah. So the one guy is kind of like, well, why don't we just wait it out? We can just buy it when it goes to market. But I think he doesn't want to like have to go against other bidders. So he's like, no, let's just try to buy it outright.
Yeah.
Let's get the sheriff though.
Let's get the sheriff. And so they go over there with the sheriff, and they give this guy an offer. This fucking Lester Bacon. He answers the door. He's just an old man, right? And he's like, remember in the old days when I could do it with a fucking knife and two people, we could chop up all the pigs in the world and do it better than your machine. And they're like, okay, well, whatever.
And I'll flick you in the nuts. Like,
what? Who wants to play grab ass slapped you nuts?
We play grab ass. My girl, we'd go on rides. She'd put her hands down my pants and jiggle my balls.
It was a glorious time.
It was a different time.
But now you can't even do that now. Nobody's jiggling balls in public.
Sir, I'm trying to offer you $55,000 for your land. Could you stop talking about your balls?
So that you bring up a good point. They offer this dude $55,000. Okay, 1987 money. I don't know what that translates to, but a good chunk of change and a job. He says
this place is a dump.
He says you can come on and work for me as an advisor, which means he doesn't have to do shit. He just advises. Come on, he's going to get a salary.
Just collect a check.
And they're going to let him continue to live on the land.
Yep.
And he still
they're going to employ a bunch of people in the town, so it'll be a good thing. Like this will create jobs.
Create 100 jobs for the town.
Yeah.
He still says fucking no.
Nope. And then the sheriff tells him, well, you got 30 days to make your payment or you're going to be on your ass anyway. So
what kind of asshole says no to something like that?
A fool, a damn fool.
Meanwhile, we see Buddy again, and Buddy's the guy who cleaved the two at the beginning. And this is just some big obese dude from the cover, right? And all he does is grunt. He's a cross between a dog and a pig.
Yeah. He just makes noises. He doesn't speak.
He like cuddles.
He's a simple man.
Yeah.
Conscientious as fuck, though.
He's got a big axe to grind, though.
And a big dick.
He just cuddles with pigs all day. Like,
is he fucking those pigs?
He's fucking those pigs.
I thought so too.
Yeah.
I was like, he's definitely banging one of those pigs for sure. Probably several of them.
So they tell him, look, you got 30 days to vacate. And then Lester's like, I don't know what I'm going to do, buddy. You've been with me through thick and thin, buddy. I don't know what I'm going to do.
I just don't know sometimes.
Yeah, and he's talking to him, and then Buddy's like grunting and stuff, and he's like, you make a good point, buddy. Anyway, so they're about ready to go.
You raised several good points, buddy. Yes, I would like to have sex with a pig.
Very conscientious of you. But they go into this like cooler, walk in.
Yeah.
And Buddy's at
that.
first like, don't go in, Dad, but he doesn't say it. He's like, and then the dad's like,
why wouldn't I want to go in here?
Yeah. What are you talking about? My programs don't start for another half hour. I'm just walking around. So they go into this fucking place, and sure as shit, there's the two people that were hanged or that were killed, and they're hanged up on these meat hooks.
And Lester, the dad, he's upset, but he's not that upset. He's kind of like, oh, buddy, you shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, these
people didn't do nothing wrong. Well, shush. What are we going to do now?
And then he goes, these weren't people that deserved it. You know who deserves it? The sheriff, the lawyer, and that fucker who tried to give me $55,000. And then he's like,
yeah, those bastards.
Ding. And
we could kill them. Shit.
Yeah. And so they come up with this whole plot to lure those three back to the fucking slaughterhouse, and Buddy's going to kill them.
Yeah.
Well, meanwhile, we got
our teenagers.
We got 4 teenagers left, right? Teenagers.
Yeah, these young adults.
We got 4 30-year-olds
or something like that, talking about how, like so and so like never went home last night. I hope everything's okay. I'm gonna eat an entire plate of ketchup. You see how much fucking ketchup that guy ate?
I was just gonna say that.
Holy shit!
There was so much.
Single-handedly keeping the Heinz company in business, I should say.
Yes, indeed.
Like he just got a bottle. And he's like, puts an entire bottle of ketchup on his fries.
Yeah.
Gross.
It's
I
so
love ketchup on fries, but come on, man.
So gross. So gross.
Everything in moderation.
So they're fucking around, and then they're like, let's go to the drugstore to get some masks. What is this, Halloween 4? Like, they got to go to they got the best costumes.
The best costumes in town.
So they go to the drugstore, and they pick up some masks, and we get a little montage because they go out, like, filming stuff. I guess they go to the old slaughterhouse at this point. There's some conversation. But they go to the old slaughterhouse, and they're going to film some B-roll, I guess, of these guys. And they got these shitty masks. One's like an old man mask, and one's like a reptile mask or something.
Yeah, it's like a cobra or something.
Yeah. And they're like scooting down the conveyor belts and like going into the camera. And there's like shitty music playing. It's dumb.
It is dumb.
Yeah.
But you're right. They want to film around the slaughterhouse and the farm. They're like, that'd make a good location for our movie.
Yep. And then they're like, well, we got to go to the dance. Okay.
Yep.
So they're gonna go get ready to go to the dance.
Like, let's put a pin in that. We'll be back to the slaughterhouse.
Yep.
Probably at night.
Deputy Dave, this guy from the beginning who's cheating on his wife, he gets a call about some missing kids, right? And he's like, "Oh shit, that's those 2 kids that were up at the fucking Lover's Lane or whatever."
That saw me with my mistress. Oh
Yeah.
shit.
So he's like, I'm going to
Everything's
go.
okay.
Well, he decides to go up to where he last saw them. He goes up to this Lover's Lane area, and he's looking for them. And I don't know, one thing leads to another, and he's like searching around the slaughterhouse area.
Yeah, because the slaughterhouse is nearby. So he's like, I'm going to go poke around in there.
And, well, he gets killed.
Yeah, like he's got his gun out or something, right? And
yeah,
is this where he gets
his hand
like
chopped
the door
off.
slammed on his arm?
Yeah,
and it cuts his hand off.
Yeah, he gets his hand chopped off, and he starts bleeding. Well, first of all, you get your hand chopped off, you're going to be like in pain, but blood is squirting everywhere, and he's just like looking at Buddy like, like it has no reaction. He's just like, like you got a paper cut.
This hurts, kind of.
Yeah, I don't know.
He bleeds out like immediately though. Like he dies right away.
Yeah, he dies. And
which I kind of liked, because a lot of times in movies somebody gets their arm hacked off and they're running around like the rest of the movie. It's like, nah, you died pretty quickly, I would think.
Yeah, he ends up dying.
He dies.
But his reaction to getting his hand chopped off was pretty piss poor.
It really was.
So now we're back to the Bacons, the Bacon brothers, Kevin Bacon and his brother,
Kevin Bacon.
Band, Lester Bacon.
But, yeah, he makes a little phone call, right?
This is where he calls Harold.
Yeah, and he's like, hey, I've been thinking about your offer to come over and play with my balls. He's like,
What?
no,
I didn't
the
offer that.
$55,000. I'd like to accept, but let's talk about it in person. Let's finalize because I want to work through some details. So why don't you come over? We'll play with each other's balls. We'll talk shop.
Wait a second.
We'll
Why
talk
do you
about
keep
money.
talking about playing with my balls? Like that was never part
We'll
of the
fuck
offer.
a pig.
We'll fuck a
You
pig.
can watch me bang a pig. Someone's got to hold the camera while I bang this pig.
Someone's playing with my balls today. It's either going to be a pig
Yeah.
or it's going to be you, Harold.
I don't much care either way.
Well, Harold goes over there.
yeah.
He's like, all right, I'll play with your balls. He comes over and they kill him. How
Yeah.
do they kill him? They just kill him, right?
He gets killed later.
Well,
how
Head
do
goes.
they kill him?
They kill. He's the first one to die, right?
Well, Lester shows him all the bodies. Like he's like taking him around.
Oh, is this where he puts him
And
on
he-
trial? Yeah. He's like, you're on trial.
And he says, like he basically tells him that he's gonna kill him, and like, Buddy's like,
Yeah.
and he tells him, Lester says, "You won't feel a thing. We do things kosher." And then Buddy crushes his fucking skull, doesn't he?
Yeah. He crushes
To which I was like, "That's not kosher.
I don't think that's kosher.
That's a lie." No, he felt that.
Yep.
You won't feel a thing. I don't know. He looked like he was in considerable pain. As
Well,
he died.
there are murderers, so we can't really like fault them for being liars. Also,
That's true. That is true. And we find out that Buddy thought that the deputy was the sheriff,
Yes.
which is why he killed him. And same deal, like Lester's kind of like, "Oh, Buddy,
This
the old
dep-
scamp, you
Yeah.
shouldn't have done that, but fuck it."
yeah. And then Buddy puts on the sheriff's clothes. Now the sheriff is probably a large, maybe an extra large. Buddy's like a 4X.
Buddy's like a 4XL, yeah.
so
He
he's
can't
like,
even get like, I think he's only got like one button.
yeah, he's like fat guy in little coat.
Yeah.
And he gets in the sheriff's car or the deputy's car, and he starts doing donuts and fucking speeding around.
Yeah, and he's got his sunglasses
and there's
on
like
shit.
this
He's playing
fucking
cop.
yeah,
Turns
there's
the
like
siren on.
stupid like Smokey and the Bandit music playing. It's like eastbound and down, loaded up and trucking, and he's like doing these fucking burnouts. And his girlfriend comes across him, and his girlfriend's like, "Deputy Dave," and she follows him, right?
I'm gonna follow you and bang you.
Yep. And she follows him, and then Buddy ends up stopping the car, and she gets out, and she goes over to the car, and she's all, "Oh, you're not Deputy Dave." She goes running back to her car, and Buddy's fat ass chases her, and he's like, well, she gets into her car,
There's
locks
no
the
way
doors.
he would have caught her. Like, come on now.
No,
It's
that dude-
a young woman.
Yeah, that
fit.
dude would have had a heart attack,
Yeah.
but he does catch her. She's in her car. Why doesn't she just fucking drive away?
Yeah. Easier to just cower in the car. Go, oh no.
Yeah,
Oh."
and then just climb out the door and crawl, because that's
Yeah,
gonna
do something other than die.
yeah. Well, she dies.
Yeah, he slits her throat. Now I do like this when he slices her throat. We get like a jump cut to
Chopping
the sheriff's wife, like slicing a tomato or something.
with the dullest knife possible. She's got like a butter knife slicing tomatoes, because those tomatoes
That's right,
are
you need a
crushed.
paring knife.
Yeah, you need to get a Ginsu knife or
some-
something.
Yeah, come on now.
Yeah. So they go to the pig out dance.
Oh, and before the dance, Tom, the other guy, he arrives and he gets killed too. They put him through like a meat grinder.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
He
yeah.
gets all chopped up.
Yeah, I saw that meat grinder, and I'm like, someone's falling in that thing.
Someone's going in there.
yeah,
Getting
and
their
they like
guts
do
ripped
it
out.
slowly.
Yeah.
They start at his
Yeah, he's like,
legs, and they just
Don't we
drop.
see his like intestines and shit?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
good
what's
times.
supposed to be intestines? It looked like crumpled up
Yeah.
newspapers dipped in red paint. Is what it looked like.
Paint with ketchup, with a whole bottle of ketchup on it.
The guy's like, "Hey, wait a second! You're gonna waste all
Oh, I
that?"
need those for my fries. But yeah, now it's the pig out radio station.
they go
party.
to the
And
dance.
This is the most 80s party I've ever seen.
It is, but it's also very fucking ridiculous. Okay, because the music that they're playing doesn't match up with the band and the instruments that the band has.
Yes.
It's like, where's the
It's
fucking
like
synthesizer?
very 80s pop synth stuff. And it's like a rock band setting.
Yeah.
And everybody's dancing.
Oh yeah, they're dancing. They're going at it. We got people in costumes, people not in costumes. I don't know what the deal was with the costumes. It
I
wasn't
don't
like
know.
a costume
It's quite
party.
the party, though. Costumes optional.
Yes, there's a guy dressed in like a Chippendales outfit. I saw in the background. He looked like Patrick Swayze in that fucking Saturday Night Live.
The SNL with Chris Farley.
Yeah. So they're all there. Well, the power goes out because I guess a storm starts, right? There's thunder and
Yeah, 'cause
lightning.
we get some thunder sound effects outside. Like, oh, there's the storm that we hadn't talked about the whole movie, but
there it is.
shit, this caused the power to go out.
Yeah, thunder and lightning has caused the power to go out. And then so at the dance, they're like, all right, everybody outside. Why? Like the guy's like, the power's going out. We'll fix that. Everybody outside. And it's like, well, if you're going to fix it, why do we have to go outside? Can't we just all like hang out and talk still? Like,
Yeah, like, nope. Sorry. Rules are rules. You're like, rules? How's that a rule? I just made it up.
so
You're like, listen, if I go outside and I have to stand around and I have nothing to do, I'm going to start playing grab ass like within minutes because
Yes.
that's what happens apparently.
So the 4 teenagers, they're like, well, what do we do now? We're so fucking bored. We always got to do something. Let's do something. They're always looking for something to do, these fuckers. And
Yeah, they got undiagnosed ADD, I think.
yeah. So the 4 teenagers, they're like, let's go back to the slaughterhouse. And the girls are like, no, we're not going back to this slaughterhouse.
not
It's
doing that.
scary. We're not going
Scary.
back. It's really scary. And the boys
I'll
are like,
give you $20.
the boys are like, we'll give you $20 if you can spend 10 minutes.
1
in there.
hour there.
1 hour, whatever it was.
Without freaking out.
You're on.
It's a deal. $20, that's a lot of money.
No one calls me chicken.
Yeah, exactly.
So they go back to the slaughterhouse and they're in there and the boys are outside with these masks, these shitty masks on that they had wearing earlier, and they're like
Yeah,
tapping
because
on
the dudes like drop them off. They're like, "Well, see you later," but they double back. They're like, "Oh, let's scare them." They put
Yeah.
their masks on.
They put their masks on. They're like tapping at the window, playing grab ass with each other. They're all, hey, they'll never know.
I'm gonna flick your balls. And then Liz is like, "I'm gonna scare them." Jokes on them. So then she is
Goes
like, "I'm
out.
gonna sneak around behind them."
Yep. And the one girl's left inside and she's looking out the window and this dude is standing there and she's like, Tommy, whatever this fucking guy's name is, but she's like, Tommy.
Skip, I think.
Oh, it's Skip. I know it's you, Skip. Behind Skip comes fucking Buddy. And she's like, Skip, behind you. Buddy
Uh-oh.
kills him.
Gets him with the hog splitter.
Yep.
And she fucking runs. I think this is Annie or something. She runs, but then she gets captured by Lester.
Yep. And Lester's.
And then Buzz, that's the other guy, rocking the fucking Cobra mask.
Uh-huh.
He's like sneaking around. And then what does he do? Oh, that's right. Buddy pops up like while he's walking around and meat hooks him like through the face.
Yeah. He gets hit in the face by Buddy.
And he fucking fish flops too after he gets hit with the thing. He's flopping around.
Yeah. And then Annie was the other girl, and she's
Got the
hanging
death
on
flaps.
the meat hook.
Yeah.
Annie's hanging on the meat hook because she's still alive.
That scene with Buzz getting killed with the hook and flopping around, like with him like walking around in that green mask. I would say that was probably my favorite scene of the whole movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was kind of cool.
Yeah. I thought there was some cool kills.
Yeah.
So Liz comes back in and she starts seeing all these bodies. She sees that Annie's still hanging there. I don't know if Annie, like, she must ultimately die, but she was still alive. She was like, "Ugh," you know.
Oh yeah.
Like Texas Chainsaw, right? When the
Yeah, but she's not long for this world.
No,
she's
she's not.
dying on that
she's
hook.
dying. All the dead bodies of the victims, and then the Lester and Buddy grab Liz, and they're like,
Yeah.
"What's your name?" And she's like, "Lizzie Borden," and he's like, "Oh, you're sheriff's daughter, huh? Well, this is better than the sheriff then."
Yeah, we'll have fun with you, I think.
Yeah,
I
and
reckon.
and
And the sheriff, he's like, he gets a call and he finds out that guy Tom's missing. He's like, Tom's missing. And then Harold, I think, is also missing. Finkel and Einhorn.
yep, exactly.
Like, he spends a lot of time really, like, it takes him a while
It does.
to really put 2 and 2 together. It's like, you're a fucking cop, dude.
and then he
Like,
calls, and then not only is he a cop, he's the head cop. He's the sheriff.
yes, he's the sheriff.
He calls the next county and he's like, I need some assistance over here. And they're like, you got it. They don't even ask him where. They're just like, okay, we'll find you.
Yeah.
It's a small town.
Just wave your hands in the air. We'll find you.
Honk your horn. They're like torturing Liz, Lester and Buddy are, and they're like slicing her fingertips just because they're like, this is the most sensitive part of the human body. I call bullshit on that, by the way.
Yeah, penis.
Yeah.
My balls.
Yeah.
Don't flick them, please.
Liz hears that the sheriff is coming in through the door, and she escapes. She like kicks them, and she escapes.
She kicks Lester like into like spikes or something like that.
Yeah,
But he's not dead. He's just like, oh, ow, that really hurt.
Yeah.
But I'm not dead.
And Buddy appears, and he starts to chase the sheriff and Liz up these stairs, and the sheriff shoots at him, but it ricochets off the hatchet. Did you notice the animation?
Yeah, it was like a cartoon. It was like bing. It was like a little they threw a little spark in there.
Yeah, it was.
But yeah, it was like a cartoon. I was like, what the fuck?
I freeze framed it because I had to see. Because it was so fucking ridiculous.
And I think something similar is going to happen. I think in a minute. Like it also is like animated. I was
Yes.
like, that was an odd choice.
It is. But they run outside, and the sheriff gets stabbed. Yeah, because
He gets stabbed in the back or the kidney.
yeah, and he's like, "Oh God!" And she picks him up, and apparently, getting stabbed like that just means that you can't do anything. So Liz has to basically carry him, and they're still running.
She puts him in the car.
She puts him in the car, and she gets into the car, and then Lester's like knocking on the window. He's like, "Let me in, let me in." She's
He's like,
"No."
"You're next, little pig."
And she drives the car, and she hits Lester, and then she ends up running over his head.
Yeah.
That was
And she shoots him, but like that doesn't do anything. But yeah, she runs him over, and his fucking head squishes like a melon.
Yep. And the sheriff and Liz are driving away, and he says radio for help, and she grabs like the radio to grab for help, and then Buddy is in the back seat.
And he noticed a giant fat guy in the back seat.
And he sits up and swings his knife, but of course we freeze frame because that's
Freeze frame.
how all 80s movies end.
Yep.
What were your
Then we get like death metal, like Cookie Monster, fucking music at the end. Did you catch that? Like during the end credits, like.
I listened to it for a little bit, and then I just shut it off.
I was like, I don't want to listen to this. That's not my jam.
No. What were your thoughts on the movie?
The first half, well, probably more like the first 3/4 of the movie, I was pretty bored.
Yeah.
I was like, the script wasn't particularly interesting. None of the characters were likable. I didn't really care for the villains. Like the pig stuff was annoying. With the, I was like, oh, stop.
What are you talking about? That's high comedy. That's high comedy, dude.
Yeah, it was really, really funny stuff.
Yeah.
But once the killing started, I did enjoy a lot of that. Like I thought some of the kills were fun. This movie reminded me of kind of like Motel Hell, but not as good.
Yeah.
A little bit like Tourist Trap. Very derivative of like Texas Chainsaw. I mean, it's basically ripping that off.
Yeah.
Just not executed nearly as well. I didn't hate it. I'm kind of between the 2 and a 2.5 on this one. I think I'm going to go 2. You're going to go lower.
Bullshit artist.
2 for me.
Bullshit artist.
I can't quite recommend it, but I do recommend like watch the last like 15, 20 minutes.
I fucking think this movie's so dumb. This movie sucked.
It's dumb.
This movie sucked. There's nothing really good about this movie. There is with the exception of a couple of the kills, and I'm going to give it points for that. But like you said, it's derivative of everything else. It was a movie that somebody somewhere was like, we need to make a horror movie because everybody's making horror movies. We can do it on the cheap. We can probably get some money, if not in the theaters, on VHS.
Yeah, there's already a blueprint for this movie. Let's just
Yep, and we're going to take it. We're going to take what they did in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. We're going to take what they did in Motel Hell, like you said, and what they did in what was the other one that you mentioned?
Tourist
Trap. All these movies, the original Texas Chainsaw, and we're going to put it in a blender, and we're going to say that this is it. And they set it up for sequels too, right? Because Buddy's still alive, and they could do all that, but they never did do a sequel.
Nope.
Why they didn't do a sequel is because the movie fucking sucked and nobody fucking likes this movie. And if you like this movie, you're a jackass. And I don't know what Alan said. I have to read his article at some point in time again, because I read it a long time ago, but I'm assuming he liked it.
Yeah, Yeah, I read it a long time ago. I did not read it before watching this because I didn't want that to influence me.
Yeah. So that being said, like I said, there were some good kills. Not really creative, but like I like the running over of the head. The beginning part, up until we get the whole intro with the pigs, I thought that was good. It was setting up like these are kids and they're creeping around someplace they shouldn't be. Yeah, they're being stupid, but that's how they are in all these movies, right? And then he comes out of nowhere and I was like, oh shit. And I even said that out loud because I was like, oh fuck, this guy's here. And the blood splattering, I thought that was cool. I thought they were trying to be too cutesy in some areas though, with like the ketchup, coming after a scene about a cat, like fucking with the pigs or something like that. And then it was like ketchup. And I was like, oh, well, what happened to that cat? I don't know. But then, the cutting of the tomatoes, like that's being a little cutesy. That's being a little Friday the 13th part 6. Like, what do they think I am? An asshole? Yes.
That's right.
But, regardless, you gave it way too high of a review. So mine is going to be half a Pamela Voorhees head.
Oh shit.
This movie should not really be seen. You should not watch this. Look at the cover art. If you collect VHS, it's probably good for the collection as a like looky-loo piece. But watching the movie,
yeah, the art is cool.
Watching the movie, you got better things to do with your 85 minutes of your life. So refrain from that. So what did you give it? A 2?
2.
So 1.25, 1.25.
Yeah.
Yo, I don't have that sound effect, but
I'm just gonna fart into the microphone. And then you can sample it for future episodes.
I don't know. Like, I don't know why you gave it a 2, but that'll be.
I found it somewhat entertaining, but I wouldn't recommend it.
No, not at all. Not at all. There's like nothing I want to recommend about it. Like, I'm trying to think if there's something that I can grasp onto. Like, because the music sucked, the acting, the
I
writing.
can't even remember the music.
Like, exactly. And here's the other thing too is like you touched on this. Like, no characters are likable. Like, I don't even like the villains. Like, sometimes in movies you can be like, well, I'm going to side with the villains in this because.
Yeah. I didn't mind the dad, Lester, but I found Buddy to be really annoying.
Yeah, but I didn't like them either. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't hate.
Yeah, I didn't like him either.
I didn't like them. And then the kids, they were all douchey. And there wasn't even enough setup. Like, I feel like with enough setup, like if we got to know the girl. Like,
yeah. I guess my dislike of the kids was enough for me to like still root for the killing of them. But without actually liking the villains.
But at that point too, like, okay, the guy who owns the competing like newer slaughterhouse, what was he doing wrong? He was just changing with the times. Like, sorry, dude. He was also trying to create jobs. He was trying to help the community. And this fucking pig, lack of a better word, this pig has to fucking be like, no, I'm going to stand my ground and I want business back.
I'm going to kill you.
Nobody wants your business, old man. We want processed meat. I don't care if there's 30% fat in it.
Yeah, exactly. Give me that bacon.
Yeah. If you have any thoughts on Slaughterhouse, or if you have an idea for movies that you think, look, these two, because maybe the listeners are like, look, you assholes both agreed on this, but you rated it way too low or way too high.
There's a lot of those.
So I think you
careful what you wish for.
I think you need to redo this. So maybe you can contact us for the bullshit artist, and we'll put you on a segment of bullshit artist. You can contact us many different ways. David, how can they contact us?
Yeah, Twitter, Facebook, the Slasher app, TikTok, YouTube, to search the Swearwolves. On Instagram, we're the Swearwolves Podcast. You can go to our website, theswearwolves.com, and contact us there. You can email us at contact@theswearwolves.com, or you can leave us a voicemail at 623-282-1851.
So for the Swearwolves this week, I'm Brett.
I'm David.
Let's go play a little grab ass, slap nuts.